Guys, Game Extra here back in another video, and today's video is what if Sierra was obsessed with Noah instead of Cody. So let's begin. So episode 1, Duncan will quit no matter what. So whoever Sierra's obsessed with wouldn't affect the episode of Duncan quitting. And episode 2 would change because there's no team swap, because the reason Sierra swapped was because of Cody, but now her little Noah is on the team. There's no reason for her to swap because she's obsessed with Noah. So I feel like Noah and Owen are still friends, and I kind of feel like Noah. I feel like he would just stand up to Sierra a bit more than Cody did in the original. I feel like he would tell her to back off. And Alejandro and Tyler are still a duo, but I think at this point Alejandro kind of realizes they need to try and convince Owen or Noah to put off Sierra, because if they work together, they're going to be a bit of a threat. And unfortunately, Ezekiel still uses it as a stick, and he goes home. So episode 3 is the Japan episode. Again, doesn't change, apart from the fact Noah and Sierra. Sierra would be hugging Noah all the time, and Noah would be trying to breathe. But Noah wouldn't, and Sierra being in different teams with Izzy wouldn't affect the challenge. But yeah, Izzy's here. That's pretty cool. Actually, it would affect the challenge. It would affect the challenge. Because Team Victory, Alejandro gets Harold to quit here. And Izzy and Cody have to make the commercial. Now, Cody was the reason they won, and it wasn't Sierra. Sierra could give some maybe feedback, but I'm still going to say Harold quits here, so Harold still goes. So 4 is the Yukon. Not a lot to be said there. Bridget gets stuck to a pole. Episode 5, non-elimination. 6 is an aftermath. So 7 is Slap Slap Evolution. And Lashana still goes home in this episode. So episode 8, not a lot to be said here. Just plays the same. Episode 9 is Can't Help Falling in Love You, and Lindsay gets unfairly booted off, like in the original. So 10 non-elimination. So Izzy would still jump out the plane, and DJ would still leave the competition like in the original. The only difference is Team Amazon's short a player, but that's about it. So, and now my boy returns, Duncan. So Duncan still returns. Ezekiel fails as Jack the Ripper. Now, Noah and Owen find Jack the Ripper in the original. Now, there is a difference here, okay? Because Sierra is obsessed with Noah, Alejandro goes home. Because Noah knows that Sierra likes him, and I feel like Noah would kind of... I don't think he would do it in... I think he would do it in, like, a Noah way to get Sierra's vote. Because I don't think he would be like Cody, which he's more of a standoffish person. I think Noah, as a person, is just a bit more standoffish than Cody is. Not to say that Cody... not to say Noah doesn't enjoy a hug, but I feel like just out to Cody's more welcoming to Sierra than Noah would be. I feel like Noah would convince Sierra, because Sierra's obsessed with Noah, her Noahkins. Alejandro goes home. Now, you could argue that he would get rid of Tyler here, but in the original, Noah wanted to get rid of Alejandro, and so the quiz between Gwen and Duncan still happens. Wait, Duncan's second prize, though. Duncan's second prize in this one. I forgot about that. So Duncan's second prize, because Courtney and Gwen find him, and then it's just a tiebreaker. But would Alejandro think it's worth it to get rid of Noah at this point? Or would he think it's worth it to get rid of Sierra? So I feel like Noah, Alejandro tie. Yeah, it's clearly going to be Noah. Sierra's really annoyed at losing her Noahkins, so instead of Noah going home, I think Sierra would quit, if I'm being honest. I feel like she saves Noah. You could say that's dramatic for me to save Noah, but I'm thinking in universal logic here, she would actually quit the competition. I think it's just because, like, if she quits, like, Chris would obviously have to save Noah. The other thing to keep in mind is, at this point in time, if Cody was to eliminated, she'd do the exact same thing. And we've seen people quit the competition before where, for example, Justin or Lindsay were going to go home, probably Lindsay, and then DJ quits the competition. So we've seen it before in action, so I don't see why Sierra wouldn't do it here. So 14's an elimination, but the kiss is revealed. So Noah would probably do the tie instead of Tyler, but or he just doesn't compete. So episode 15, there's a bit of a difference here because Tyler doesn't screw up. Instead, Noah carries the alien box because he's smart enough, and Courtney's supposed to challenge, and they vote off Courtney. So 16, Owen takes Remnant Emu, and Team Amazon win the challenge without Courtney throwing. So do I think that they vote off Owen? No. I think this is where they do vote for Noah. Unfortunately, Alejandro will get convinced Duncan and Tyler to vote for Noah for the same reasons as the original. So now 17 is an elimination, and Blamely still joins the cast, and it's the merge. So the only difference here is we have Gwen and Tyler instead of Sierra and Courtney. Okay. So Alejandro goes with Heather, Blamely and Owen, Tyler, Duncan and Cody, which leaves Tyler and Gwen. Okay. So I think Duncan and Cody would probably lose, but actually win here just because Duncan won the original. And they still vote Owen off as the fan favourite. So in episode 20, everyone qualifies for the eating portion. And Gwen would win the challenge. So Alejandro, I just think they vote off Blamely. There's no double elimination because there's no Courtney. Like, Cody might vote for Duncan, but like, there's no reason for them to... There's no love triangle, really. It's just Duncan and Gwen. Like, Cody wouldn't like it, but apart from everyone else, like, there's no Courtney. Which is sad, but I think, ultimately, Duncan and Gwen would kind of be on the outs, but, like, there's no real triangle in the sense, like, that was the reason Heather was kind of being saved. So, Duncan and Gwen might vote for Heather. Cody might vote for Duncan, but the other three vote for Blamely, and then Blamely probably just votes for Gwen. So, yeah, there's no double this time. So 21. Afterwards first. Alan tries to chip Duncan and so much wash on Ezekiel. I think they still vote off Duncan here. So these four vote for Duncan. So 22. Rafui. So Alejandro gets Tyler to first class. Because Cody and Gwen are super close, okay? He realizes there's a bit of a threat now. And if I'm being honest, I kind of feel like in this version that Alejandro wins the challenge with Heather, and then they vote off Gwen. Just because she's been in the finale, she's going to win most of the challenges. So they might as try and vote her off here. In episode 23, there's no blowing up the plane, so instead, I think Tyler would win the challenge, if I'm being honest, with his super strong fingers. And Heather convinces Cody to vote off Alejandro. So without Sierra to blow up the plane, Alejandro gets screwed over. So I think it's kind of funny to think that Noah, by Sierra being obsessed with Noah, Alejandro comes fourth. So in episode 24, non-elimination. 25 is the race to Hawaii. And Tyler, I think Cody would give up because in the original he was facing Alejandro and Heather. But now he's facing Tyler, and I don't think he would give up in this version. So honestly, Tyler and Cody would just tag team to probably just take out Heather, to be honest. Yeah, that's kind of it. So I think Tyler and Cody win. Take that as you will. I feel like the winner of this would probably be... Honestly, I could see Cody winning. Like, Cody and Tyler have not really had the same orders. I don't know, actually. I feel like Tyler could be a good winner. And it would be revenge round. Obviously, Tyler's not a powerhouse. Well, he is kind of in his own way, but like Tyler and Cody don't like have that rivalry. So this is the elimination order, and how I think it's going to go on. If Sierra's obsessed with Noah, so basically that's how I think it would go. And yeah, peace and farewell.